Yo, what is up everybody, it's Jelly Great here and welcome back to another Naruto reaction video here today. And today we have a brand new video by the Great Six, and as you can tell the title, this is DMS Kakashi is Insane, featuring Seththeprogrammer. So, DMS Kakashi, in my estimation, is arguably one of the strongest shinobi to ever grace the shinobi world. Right? He was able to speed blitz and significantly harm Kaguya near the end of the war arc. That is extremely impressive, especially considering that at that point she gained an exponential increase in power as according to Black Zetsu. So that was a very powerful individual that he blitzed and affected. So he had both the speed and the damage potential to hurt and speed blitz Kaguya Otsutsuki. That is very impressive. Very impressive. You could argue that he was above Naruto and Sasuke at that point. It is very arguable. So, this video should be interesting. I wonder what this video exactly entails of, right? The title is somewhat vague, but it is a hook, right? It does reel you in, which is testament to Six and Seth's ability to make videos. So, I'm assuming they're going to just discuss Kakashi's overall attributes when he was DMS Kakashi, right? They're probably going to maybe get some hypotheticals, I'm assuming, as to what he could have done against other opponents. And I'm very interested to see what they have to say today. But before we begin, any loves greatly appreciated. Hit that like button, turn on bell notifications to stay updated with yours truly. And if you're new and you enjoy, man, you mess with the kid, make sure to hit that sub button, because once you do, become part of the family forever. But let's not waste any more time, screen. Let's see what Six and Seth say today.
Hello everyone, it's your host.
What's up?
You didn't let me finish the intro.
Anyway, yeah, I'm here. I'm Seththeprogrammer.
Yeah, Seth's here.
Yeah, and that's Six Naruto YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Now, you can't look up his actual username because it's generic, but if you look up SkaterBoy7, you might be able to find some stuff and dox him a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably has an old Xbox account or something with that.
If you look up Zachary Whitaker, you could probably get Seth's general location.
Oh shit!
His real name. But yeah, we
are
are
doxing each other already.
Kakashi is like really tough.
Yeah, bro, super fucking strong.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're talking about like how he would slam all the Hokage like in Shippuden, because alright, let's get real. I made Gojo versus Kakashi, and I was like, yeah, you know, Kakashi, he was fighting Kaguya, you know, whether he's like around those Six Paths characters, give or take. And they're like, what? What are you talking about, bro? What do you mean they're almost the same strength? What is he on? He's fell off. Seththeprogrammer. And I'm like, well, you know, we've been saying the same thing since 2017, but, you know, I guess we needed an update video on why Kakashi would just slam any Hokage in Shippuden, not Naruto, maybe. So yeah, anyway, Tsunade, she's as strong, around the same strength as the Raikage.
Yeah, Kakashi doesn't even need DMS for Tsunade. Like,
facts. Yeah. Facts.
He doesn't need DMS. He's clapping her like
apparently
war arc.
She would lose to Part 1 Kabuto in a fist fight.
In her mind.
That's facts though.
And now she's like 80 years old or something. Yeah, so put that put that in your brain. Yeah, anyway.
I'm retired.
The next one, I guess, is Tobirama Minato. Now, this one might require DMS, but I think we should just go into, like, let's just say Tobirama is just KCM 2 Minato level. All right,
okay. Let's lie. We'll just lie for the sake of this.
All right, and we'll also say that he can also, like, Tobirama is alive, he's amped, and he can just like teleport to the local graveyard and steal bodies to like use tandem bombs.
Because that is feasible in combat. He would actually do that.
That's in character as well. He robs graves a lot.
He would go to the local cemetery, dig up a corpse, and use it for Edo Tensei.
Okay, also, we're going to give Tobirama the Byakugan, and we're going to give Minato the Sharingan. Alright, so Kakashi, if you actually watch him fight Kaguya, he actually moves so fast that Kaguya's arms, which move fast enough to where Sasuke and Naruto need to help each other a little bit and kind of move around. Kakashi's attacks move so quickly that Kaguya's arms don't actually even move in comparison to his attack. That's how fast it is.
And this is like twice. So the first time, he just straight up blitzes Naruto and Sasuke. Like, there's no way around it. Naruto's like, Sasuke, go get to Sakura with your eye ability, because the hand is about to kill her. Sasuke starts looking at her. He's about to teleport. Kakashi swoops in, grabs Sakura, and Naruto's like, bet, W Sasuke, you saved her. He's like, wait, that's not Sasuke. That's fucking Kakashi. So
Yeah.
So
yeah, what I was gonna say from there is Kaguya gets a massive amp, and in fact, it's stated that she gets exponentially faster.
Precisely.
Now, we talked to like Swag and a lot of people about this, and apparently like Exponential is literally like some Patara fusion level shit, like where it could literally just be Kaguya multiplied by the power and speed of Kaguya. Like it's literally Patara fusion Kaguya, and
Kaguya
then
squared.
it's literally Kaguya squared, which is a low ball. Like
Bare
that's just
minimum,
like the
right?
low ball.
Exponential
I mean, it could be
could be
Kaguya
anywhere
times
from
1.1
squared
Kaguya's or some
to
weird thing, but you get the
an
idea.
unbelievable
Anyway,
number.
Kaguya gets a lot stronger, and she was already strong at beating the absolute piss out of Sasuke, like no problem. And then Kakashi blitzed that same Kaguya, no problem. So Kaguya actually gets on guard, turns on her Byakugan when Naruto and Sasuke make a plan, right? And she's like, oh, they can seal me. I need to deal with them now. Like, they're going to beat me. And guess what happens? They zoom off to attack her. She just keeps staring at Kakashi. Now, do you know why she keeps staring at Kakashi? Because he's the strongest one there. So, you know what happens? She turns on her Byakugan while Patara fusion amped with herself. And then she has a duel with Kakashi. She can't even like activate her bones in her body by the time Kakashi rips her torso in half with a Kamui Raikiri.
Correct.
Yeah, it's really bad, especially in the anime, because it makes it much clearer in the anime that Kaguya's flying at Kakashi to come attack him, but he just gets there much faster and just tears her shoulder off or whatever he does. So
Yeah.
it's pretty telling, bro.
And a lot of people will be like, oh, but what about when Naruto ripped Kaguya's arm off? I hate to tell you, bruh, that's Kaguya when she was a lot weaker. And on top of that,
Exponentially
Kaguya didn't even have her
weaker.
Byakugan on in that. That's right, Kaguya was suppressed and nerfed. Because she used to...
And Naruto was amped.
And Naruto was amped.
This was directly after Obito just died, and Naruto's like, you know, mad that they're talking down on Obito because he's like a loser or whatever. He's like, he's nothing but cool to me, and he like sliced his arm off, or sliced her arm off. Naruto's actually just super amped in that moment, and to prove it, earlier when Naruto used Boiler Release on Kaguya, which literally gives you unparalleled. This is pre Shadow Clones, by the way, so pre him losing chakra. Gives you unparalleled physical strength according to the data book and according to the Five Tails itself. He just blows Kaguya back. There's no damage on Kaguya from Boil Release, but when Naruto gets this like insane Obito downplay mental imp, he can just tear Kaguya's arm straight from the ligaments or something like that. So it's actually just an insane imp. So Naruto knocking Kaguya's arm off, nothing compared to Kakashi doing the same thing. Nothing at all.
Also, you'll notice that while Kakashi and Kaguya are dueling, Naruto and Sasuke are converging on her the entire time, and they don't get to her. And then when Kaguya is literally chopped in half, she starts falling against her will. She's like, oh, wait, the other two are still coming. Like, they're going to seal me now, after she takes a fat L to Kakashi. And you know what happens when they're flying at her? You know what she does? She can react.
Yep, the whole time.
While torn in half, she reacts to them, creates a hand. She can't do that to Kakashi. So you know what happens with Kakashi versus Naruto and Sasuke? They literally get chopped in half before they can even react. That's just how it is. That's like literally all we know.
And the thing is, while in the middle of Kaguya reacting, she summons this portal to hit on Naruto's clones from her other arm with Zetsu on it. And Kakashi Kamui's away the fucking portal. He takes the portal away with Kamui. It's like insane.
Now, I do think Kakashi being this strong is stupid as fuck, but I don't really care, bro, because he just is that strong, and that's just how power scaling is. Anyway, yeah. So to explain the significance of this Kaguya level feat or whatever, this amped Patara fusion Vegito Kaguya feat that Kakashi blitzed and basically tore in half in one hit, you have to think that okay, Minato with a Sharingan and Tobirama with the Byakugan. Do you think that, you know, Sage Blind Madara was fighting like KCM2 Naruto and all them a little bit, and then he got like one Renegon, right?
Yeah.
And then you'd say like double Renegon is probably way better than double Sharingan, or definitely better than double Byakugan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
Well, So literally, imagine Madara with the 2 Renegon, and just like no 6 pads, and yeah, Kakashi is just literally blitzing them to the point he can't even move because Kaguya is apparently stronger and faster than Madara, who's
Yeah,
like
just
relative
stated by
inferior or whatever. He's like somewhat fighting with Naruto and Sasuke or whatever.
I mean, like,
So-
bro, if you still don't believe that Kaguya is stronger than Madara, like in this day and age, I just don't know what to tell you.
You need help.
Like, you're
You
just,
straight
you're
up
just
2016,
blatantly ignoring.
bro.
You need
know
help
what I'm
if you
saying?
don't.
You're just blatantly ignoring the story. At
Like
that point.
you live in a different fucking universe, bro. You're in universe C. Like he read fucking Karuto. Like that's just not the same
they,
show no
they
more.
saw Madara get pumped full of so much chakra that he exploded, and then Kaguya
Kaguya
just
like,
handled the
"It's
same
enough."
amount. And
Kaguya
then
said it wasn't enough, bro.
Kaguya can handle the same amount times Kaguya, and they still think Madara is stronger than
Exactly.
Kaguya.
It's
You know what
crystal
Kaguya
clear
did?
narratively.
Kaguya took so much chakra in that it blew Madara's body to smithereens, and then absorbed all the chakra of every shinobi on planet Earth, and then turned it into a giant Frieza fucking death ball that can blow up time-space continuums with like planets and stars in it or some
Correct.
shit. And then after making that giant expanding death ball of doom, was still herself with Patara fusion level at like amps. Like it was just
Exactly. Like,
stupid.
it's
And
just
Kakashi
cracked.
blitzed the dumb bitch.
It's
like
just
it's like
cracked.
what? So
And we didn't even talk about the Kamui Shuriken part with the hands. I forgot to mention it earlier. When the hands are coming at
Mention it.
Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi, whenever Kakashi throws the Shuriken, the hands, in comparison to the Shuriken, just stop moving.
move. They literally don't move.
Like he's actually just insane like that.
Like, there's a reason that like she started staring at Kakashi over the 2 people that could actually steal her away, because he's actually that guy.
Insane.
So,
bro.
He's him.
From
yep.
there, it's like, okay, what about Hashirama? Now I'm gonna be real. What if I told you if you gave Hashirama dual Renegon and the 10 Tails, he'd still get his ass clapped by Kakashi DMS?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what happened to Madara.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. Who else? Tsunade dies in his general vicinity. Probably
Yeah.
gets chakra crushed.
8th gate guy gets clapped too. Like there's
Yeah.
just
Destroyed.
nothing
I mean, it's
for
not a
it.
competition.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just how Naruto and base 6 paths performed better than 8 Gates guy against Madara, by the way, 1-on-1.
Correct.
Yeah, and then
Open did worse than like Naruto. Anyway, so yeah, Byakugan Tobirama and Sharingan KCM2 Minato. We already went over how they're just worse than Madara and Hashirama, and they get clapped even harder.
Yep.
And Hiruzen, maybe you could scale him to Konohamaru using that weird guidebook or that novel statement.
Yeah.
But Konohamaru is just kind of like not really anything, especially compared to
Yeah,
DMS
like on
Kakashi.
the high ball, you compare Konohamaru to like Kashi and Koji, right? And so everything I'm about to say, by the way, extreme high ball for Konohamaru in specific. So
Okay.
don't take this out of
Yeah,
context
yeah.
and be like, oh, 6 thinks Konohamaru skills.
Even
No.
more extreme
So-
highball for Hiruzen.
Yeah, even
Prime
more for Hiruzen. The prime Hiruzen, by the way, strongest Hokage of all time.
Yeah, Dead Book
Konohamaru clashes
times over.
Rasengan with Koji. And then let's say Koji thought he could beat Delta. And then let's say Delta scales to 6-path Sage Mode Naruto. It still doesn't matter. We're comparing them to DMS Kakashi.
Like they don't get it. Like, bruh, Kaguya normally is apparently a rival for like Momoshiki, let alone
Yes.
Kaguya squared. Like what?
I see what you guys are saying.
Kaguya,
Okay.
like with a fucking Earth Spirit Bomb, like absorbed. Like I don't know. Like apparently DMS Kakashi's above that. I don't.
Yes.
It just seems like a stretch, even for Hiruzen. Maybe Hiruzen gonna unleash the 8th gate, and it'll be a somewhat comparable fight. I'm just joking, whatever. But yeah, you get the idea. Kakashi is the strongest Kage in all of Shippuden. Might be the strongest character in fucking Shippuden. Period.
Might be,
Um,
yeah.
Might be. I don't think he could beat Kaguya 1-on-1 though. As you know, lame
What?
as that sounds. But he is like stronger, like for the because he just has a time limit. He doesn't have time. But you know, he's still the strongest, I guess. In that case, just doesn't have enough time to finish the job. That makes sense.
And to mention it, like literally when Kakashi runs, this is in the anime, by the way. So if you haven't seen the Boruto anime, then you know I'm about to help you out a little bit. Whenever Kakashi runs into Kashi and Koji and they have a little scuffle, Koji just straight up runs away. And then
He's like,
when he
"I
runs
almost
away,
died."
he's like, damn, I didn't think I would have to risk my life like that to gain this information.
Base Kakashi? Like, don't get me wrong, base Kakashi, he's hard in Boruto. You know, he's stronger than he was in the war. Apparently, that statement is questionably canon now or something.
Yeah,
but anyway,
but it's cool.
But you get the idea. Yeah. So now imagine that guy with 6 paths, giga powers, and yeah, that's the whole video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for having me. This channel sucks. Bye bye.
Okay. All right, bet. Goodbye. Hey, so after recording, I realized me and Seth kind of completely forgot to talk about DMS Kakashi versus Hokage Naruto and how he would interact with Jubi Madara. Jubi Madara is the more important one here because even though we did say in the video that we do think he would beat him, I know we're going to get a lot of comments of people talking about the Limbo clones and how he would interact with the Limbo clones. Could he see them?
Right.
And whatnot. The main thing we know, or the reason you can see Limbo clones from most people, what the story tells us, is you have to have a Rinnegan. So as far as Kakashi being able to see them, I think the answer to that is probably a definitive no. I don't think he's going to be able to see the Limbo clones, but him being able to interact with them is a different story. To interact with the Limbo clones, you have to have 6 paths power, or at least that's how Naruto and Sasuke frame it. And Kakashi, not only his eyes, but his jutsu as well, they're both amplified by 6 paths power.
Correct. He states it himself.
He's able to damage Kaguya, which, as everyone should know, Kaguya has the same body that Madara has. It just hers is able to contain a lot more chakra. So Madara's quote-unquote immunity to ninjutsu that you get from being a Jubi Jinchuriki should apply to Kaguya as well, yet we know Kakashi was able to just run right through her with his Kamui Raikiri. So in theory, if the Limbo clones move to protect Madara, or they sit in the formation they normally do where they're kind of all around him, Kakashi going forward, he should be able to go just straight through them. As far as how Kakashi reacts with Hokage Naruto, or interacts with in that specific battle, I want to say it's relatively unknown, because we do know Kamui is passive once you have the Mangekyo Sharingan on, and Kakashi can do this while attacking at the same time, but he does have a time limit on it, and we know that Naruto, since he has the 9 tails and since he's an Uzumaki, he just has crazy amounts of chakra and stamina. So Kakashi having a time limit, you could probably say that Naruto would run that out and just be able to beat him that way, which I think is a fair comparison. I definitely think it's cool to say that, and I think it's fine to say that Naruto would be the strongest Hokage, even including DMS Kakashi. So I'm not disagreeing with that, and I think DMS Kakashi versus Baryon mode might go a little bit different, because then you got 2 time limits going on there,
Right.
and then you can argue the Baryon mode time limit is sort of shorter. I think the Kakashi time limit is somewhere around, like if you go through the manga, the Kakashi time limit is maybe in the ballpark of 10 to 20 minutes, because even after the fight with Kaguya, his DMS didn't just completely disappear. It was a little bit after a while when they were talking to Hagoromo and stuff that his eyes eventually just went away. And the Baryon mode time limit is somewhere around 5 minutes, scaling off of how it was able to beat down Ishiki to a certain amount of life within a specific time frame. So you kind of get your answer on that. Like maybe DMS Kakashi could then run out Baryon mode's time limit and he would win that. But obviously it doesn't make him stronger. It's sort of just like, you know, he can run out the time limit. As far as him interacting with Obito, because I know some people do think this, that DMS Kakashi is weaker than Jubito, it's kind of just like, you know, different power in the hand, or power in the hands of different people can amp those people differently. So Kakashi with Obito's chakra and 6 paths chakra is stronger than Obito with the 10 tails. I mean, it just scaling wise works that way. That's how he's.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Things he does to Kaguya, be stronger than Naruto and Sasuke in the same instance, whatever. Because we know Jubito is weaker than Jubi Madara, a weaker Jubi Madara than the one Kaguya is stronger than. So yeah, that's just how that would go. But This was just after the recording. I just realized, because we were just so like energized in the recording, we ended it too quickly. Forgot to go over it. Sorry about that. But yeah, have a nice day.
Alright, there you guys have it. I definitely want to get my thoughts on this. Now, that last thing that they discussed, Baryon mode Naruto versus DMS Kakashi, Six didn't really mention the gap in power. Is there a gap? Does he think that they're relative? I highly doubt that Baryon mode Naruto is relative in power to DMS Kakashi. I think Naruto is still quite a bit superior to DMS Kakashi in Baryon mode. Because then you gotta ask yourself, is Ishiki stronger than a Kaguya that got an exponential increase in power? Right? Now, this is some rationale that you could use. Kaguya knows of that ability, right? She knows that she can get that much stronger. Yet she was scared of Momoshiki and Kinshiki and the Otsutsuki. So you could argue that Kaguya would still have a tough time with, at bare minimum, Fused Momoshiki. Fused Momoshiki would still give her a tough time, right? Because they kind of presuppose that she's just stronger than at least base Momoshiki. Now, I might agree with that. I might agree that exponentially times stronger Kaguya might be stronger than a base Momoshiki. However, what I think it would get contentious is if Momoshiki were to absorb something the likes of, let's say, Naruto's entire chakra reserve. Would she still be much stronger than base Momoshiki? I don't know about that. I think that's contentious, and I highly doubt that she'd be stronger than Fused Momoshiki, right? Fused Momoshiki using his stone golem or whatever he used at the end of the battle against Naruto and Sasuke, I think would give that Kaguya some trouble. Now, it is headcanon. There is no way to quantify it unless there's data books that state that Kaguya is stronger, which I have no knowledge of, so please inform me if that's the case, which I don't think it is. But I highly, highly doubt that even that Kaguya is stronger than Ishiki. Highly doubt that. That she is relative to Ishiki. Even relative to Ishiki. I don't believe that's the case. Now, what makes this contentious is the fact that Kakashi, as pointed out by Seth and Six, was blitzing Kaguya so badly that, at least in the anime, she wasn't even moving because he was that much faster than her. She couldn't even react to the guy. So I see where this is even a possibility, right? Because he was so much faster. Those Kamui Shuriken were taking out her arms before those arms were even moving. That's how much faster he was than her. Now, narratively, does that seem to make sense? No, it doesn't. But that's what happened. So you can't just simply say, no, it's not possible, because it happened. So from that, you can put DMS Kakashi's speed at a ridiculous level, and even argue that his speed would be relative to that of Ishiki. So I see where the argument's coming from. Right. However, I would argue that the power cliffing and the narrative implications made on Kaguya versus Ishiki, with Ishiki being the top of the Otsutsuki hierarchy, would contend that and would suggest that DMS Kakashi just isn't at that level. Right. So empirically, the speed aspect is quite problematic to battle because, like I said, and like Seth and Six said, he was moving so fast that Kaguya couldn't even move. That's how fast he was moving. That's how fast he was moving. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I just don't think it's narratively implied that she's relative to Ishiki, or even Fused Momoshiki for that matter. There seems to be a power hierarchy as you progress through villains, right? Think about it. You go from Jubito to Jubidara to Kaguya to then Momoshiki to Fused Momoshiki to Jigen to Ishiki. There seems to be a general trend of increase in threat and in overall attributes and power. So it wouldn't make sense if it went like this and then it dipped down again. I don't think Kishimoto is implying that Kaguya was the strongest villain they've ever faced. In fact, I believe it's stated that Ishiki was the strongest villain ever faced. I believe that is stated canonically. So Ishiki would be stronger than that Kaguya. That we can say almost definitively. Now, DMS Kakashi, his speed is more than likely not equal or even close to the speed of someone like Ishiki. highly, highly unlikely. Is highly, highly unlikely. Despite the difference in speed between Kaguya and Kakashi. And of course, there's no way to definitively prove that. Right? But that seems to be the case. That seems to be the case. There's enough narratively for that side. The burden of rejoinder would be on the person arguing Kakashi and DMS could beat Ishiki or Baryon on Naruto. Right? The burden of rejoinder would be more so on that side, in my opinion. There's just more for this side than that side at the end of the day. So, there you guys have it. This is a very interesting topic because DMS Kakashi has insane feats. He really does. Arguably the most impressive feats in all of Shippuden. In all of Shippuden. And he's arguably the strongest single individual in all of Shippuden. The last thing I'll say is you gotta take into consideration how Kakashi would do against Kaguya one-on-one. And I tend to agree with Seth. I don't think he'd beat her one-on-one. I think she, with her stamina and her abilities, would probably overwhelm him. And there's a time limit, of course. Right? There's a time limit, of course. So, although he had extremely impressive speed feats, right? I think that they were relative enough to where Naruto and Sasuke had to be there as well, and Sakura. They all had to work together in conjunction, right? So, with that train of thought, you can come to the conclusion that DMS Kakashi was in the ballpark of Kaguya's level. Because if it were the case that he was so vastly greater in power, then he would have just done it himself. Although that argument's not definitive, I believe it is a strong argument. Because everything that takes place narratively implies that, right? It implies Kaguya was the big dog, and that all those four had to work in conjunction. Obito had to sacrifice himself. All that had to take place in conjunction for her fall, right? For her defeat. So that points to the fact that DMS Kakashi was in the same ballpark as Kaguya. Might be superior in speed, but I don't think the gap is so vast that he could contend with someone like Ishiki. So that's my argument for that. He does wash all the other Hokage that aren't Naruto, in my opinion, though. Hashirama, Tobirama, there's just a huge power cliff between Kaguya and everyone else prior. So he would wash the other Hokage. But there you guys have it. That's my thoughts on it. I'm sure there's many differentiating opinions out there, so please let me know in the comments what your assessment is of this and how far would he get in Shippuden and how far would he get in Boruto. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm always interested to hear you guys' thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next video. It's Jay the Great signing out. Peace.